Hello there, guys. This is Christy Lewis from Dostoevsky in Space, and today I'm finally checking in on my 2024 goals. How did I do with them? And also talking about my goals for 2025. So, thanks so much for joining me today. Let's jump into it. So, I think I did really well with 2024 as far as life booktube balance. And I'm pretty much going to continue what I've been doing for the last year. So I think I successfully stepped back from booktube and rested a lot more in 2024. And I don't feel like I'm slamming so much into my schedule anymore, which is a fantastic feeling, honestly. And I wanted to get into regular contact with some Koreans, so I could make friends and start communicating in Korean, because the best way to learn a language is you should be using what you learn really regularly, and you should need to use it. Like, it's not like if I'll have time, I'll use it, but no, you need to use it. If you want to communicate with this person, you have to use it. And so I've been doing that. I haven't done too many video calls. I did a couple in 2024, but I have been texting regularly, like sometimes more like a pen pal type thing, sometimes more like a not daily, but like very regularly checking in. So yeah, that's kind of my plan for that. That was my plan for 2024, was start making Korean friends, get into regular contact. I did that. I'm really happy with that. I have 2 friends that I talk with pretty regularly now. And I think what I would like to do is focus on actually video chatting. It might still be too early for my Korean, but I feel like the only way to improve is just to jump in there and be terrible at it. So I just have to find the right place to jump in there and be terrible at it. So yeah, I want to make that a goal for 2025, is video chat more in Korean. I'm getting faster at text chatting, and that's why I'm saying I'm not sure if I'm ready to video chat yet, is because if my texting is still fairly slow, that means my thinking in Korean is still pretty slow. I'm still taking a while to organize my thoughts in Korean, because it's not at all like English or Spanish or any languages that are similar to those. Like, the word order is really different. It uses particles. It doesn't really have like adjectives. Like, it does, but they're not used that often. Their adjectives are actually verbs that you have to conjugate. You have to think about the politeness level to use. So there's a lot of other stuff you have to think about when you're communicating in Korean that you're not used to if you are from like a romance language or like English. It's just totally different. So, and that's not to say, I mean, there's some things about it that are great and that I love. But yeah, it's complicated. I'm very slow at thinking in Korean. So, I need to continue working on my speed of texting, and I think that talking will come along with that. However, I need to start keeping an audio journal in Korean so that I'm practicing actually speaking. Another goal that I have for 2025 is I want to finish the Pimsleur series in Korean, and I would like to do it in Spanish as well, because those are really helpful to just start thinking in the language and just have more natural, instantaneous coming to mind the right phrase. That's really what Pimsleur facilitates, is being able to react to a certain situation in a reasonable amount of time, because you've done it 50 times on a Pimsleur, tape, so that kind of thing. So those are 2 goals: finish the Korean Pimsleur, which I am about 3/4 of the way done with, and do the Spanish one. Because for Spanish, it's almost like I'm being reminded of things that I already knew, because I obviously took some in school. Like most people in America, we took some Spanish in school. So yeah. Let's see. I also, so I have been practicing more speaking and output, just like around the house. Sometimes I'll just be like talking to myself in Korean. I need to keep doing that though. I need to get better at that. I would always rather read a book, but, and another thing that I discovered in 2024 that's really helping with my language acquisition is Anki flashcards. Anki Droid, not Anki Pro. I was using Anki Pro, but there's a card limit daily on Anki Pro, and also you can't, unless you pay for it, you can't use screenshots or video or audio in your card. But ever since I switched to Anki Droid, which is completely free on Samsung, you can, I just will screen record things that I'm watching on YouTube or whatever. So it'll have a 2-second clip of a sentence or a word that I can just listen to over and over again to help me remember it. And that's going really well for me. I really am loving it, Anki Droid. So yeah, my language learning is going really well. And I think it just takes a long time, a lot of immersion for an English speaker to learn something like Korean, which is just so different, and vice versa, you know, for a Korean to learn English, which is, it's amazing because Koreans are pretty good at English, honestly. They're all better at English than I am at Korean. So anyways, I'm also reading more nonfiction, which was a goal that I started, I think, in 2023. I was reading like, I was aiming for 50% fiction, 50% nonfiction, and I'm still doing that, and I'm loving it. I'm still in a nonfiction mood. I'm just like voraciously wanting to read nonfiction. I think after reading almost exclusively fiction for most of my life, I was like, I want to know things. I want to be able to talk to people outside the book community about things. I just realized my conversational skills were really lacking because I didn't read anything that like the people outside of the booktube community would be reading. So yeah, or the writing community. Yeah, so I really wanted to learn about other things, and I feel like I'm doing that. History is helping, reading about history and stuff, and politics. And I'm hanging out with friends and family a lot, and I've been taking vacations. These are all things that we were working towards, and now we're actually doing. So that's great. I'm really busy doing those things now, and I love it. It's wonderful. And I've also been focusing on work, and I've started working more in a month. So that's great. Those are all goals that I feel like I'm successfully doing that I was wanting to do in 2024, and I'm successfully doing them. So 2025 goals would be, I have a lot. But if I don't reach them all, that's okay. These are just things that I want to work on, not necessarily accomplish. I just want to work on them. I want to finish editing all of my vacation vlogs that I have stored up. I have probably like 20 or 25 videos that I filmed and they're on my terabyte drive. So they're just sitting there. So I really want to focus on especially my vlogs because Kevin has been expressing interest in watching them, and he really likes my vlogs, and that feels really good. It's like, oh, cool. Someone in my family actually was like really excited about my vlogs. Both of my moms, Kevin's mom and my mom, enjoy my regular vlogs anyways, but yeah. So there's that. I really want to work on vlogs, and Kevin's reminding me all the time. He's like, are you going to work on your vlog? So that is very motivating for me. I really want to work on those. Next, I would like to clean out my stored video files. Like I want to go through them, and I want to edit rather than film a bunch. I want to edit a bunch in 2025 and post those. I have a backlog. And another thing, I don't know, this is kind of this might not happen this year, but this is something I've been thinking about. I've been tutoring someone in English. They're a Spanish speaker. They're from Mexico, and they want to become a citizen. So we've been doing American history and reading and speaking practice and stuff like that. And she just said the other day that there's so many more people like me who need you. Like there's more people who want to learn than people who want to teach. And she's like, you have the schooling to be able to teach us, so please do more. I was like, oh. Oof. That really was like, boy, what am I doing with my time? I should be doing more of this. So I don't know if I'm gonna really have time. I have to be able to commit to it and not back out, and that's the thing. I don't know if I can, but I have successfully gone through a lot of therapy in the last 2 years or so, and I was meeting with a therapist every 2 weeks for like a couple years, and now I'm aiming for every 3 weeks. So maybe I would have time. I don't know. And I'm trying to like talk back to my anxiety in my head rather than writing it all out. which takes less time. It's more instantaneous in the moment, talking it out, thinking it out, rather than writing it out, which is slower. So maybe I'll have a little more time, but I purposely want to create margin and space in my life so that I'm not hurrying from thing to thing and feeling stressed about getting it all done. So we'll have to see if I am able to fit this in. It might have to be another year goal. But yeah, anyways, I mean, if my person that I've been working with currently ends up accomplishing her goals, maybe I could fit somebody else in. But I wouldn't want to just like stop meeting with her either. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Next, I would love to find a bilingual club. This is another kind of tenuous goal. I have a couple tenuous goals here. They are starting one at my library, but it's primarily for Spanish speakers who want to practice their English. It's not for English speakers who want to practice their Spanish. So I really need to find a place where I can practice my Spanish because I'm learning it for work and I need to practice it. But I'm not necessarily, I started talking to people in Spanish on language exchange apps, but I found that it was too much to keep up with in addition to Korean. So I haven't kept that up. So that's not even a goal yet for 2025. I'm not even thinking I should find a Spanish language exchange partner. I'm not even there yet. So these are goals that I want to think about for the future. These are goals that I want to work on in the future. I think Spanish will be really useful for me if I can really learn how to speak it, including for fostering. So definitely something I want to work on while I have the time, because I do have the time right now, but I might not forever. I also want to focus on reading books off of my Goodreads TBR or my Libby wish list, especially my Libby wish list. That's what I've been using a lot more lately. I've been here and there just picking books off of my Libby wish list and really enjoying knocking them off there because I've got 1,000 titles on there or something that I want to read. So I've just been like, oh, I need an audiobook. Look on my wish list, grab another audiobook. And that feels really good to actually take books off of the pile instead of just piling them on. So I want to keep doing that. And okay, let's move on to my little paper over here. I wrote a bunch down the other night. I wanted to have a goal of only eating when I'm hungry, eating intuitively, as I've heard it called. But I tried that out already and it didn't work for me. My anxiety increased quite a lot because I think I don't feel as hungry all the time to where I'm eating enough. If I just only eat when I'm hungry, I don't eat enough for my body. So I tried this out and it didn't work out for me because that's the thing with my health. I can't focus on productivity being the goal. For me, it's always, I have to prioritize my health first, even if productivity takes a hit, and just be glad for all the things that I can do now. There's a lot more that I can do now than I could previously. Previously, all I had was BookTube. That was all I had the capability of doing because I was so sick. And now I'm doing so much better that I should focus on, hey, I got a lot done. Maybe I only got, 40% of the things that I want to get done in a day. That's still great. Getting 40% of the things off. Maybe I'll work on some more of them tomorrow, or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll need to rest. But, I got some stuff done today. I'm being productive still. So I just want to focus more on being positive, and Kevin calls it strategic. He's like, you're not being slow and complacent. Those are the thoughts that I had about myself. You're not being slow and complacent. You're being strategic with your time and resources and your energy. So that's just something that I always have to think about. I have to rest a lot, even though I get frustrated with that sometimes. I just have to. There's no options. It's rest or I won't do anything because I feel terrible and I can't do anything when I feel that bad. So, okay, start regular video chatting Korean. I already talked about that. Finish Mango Spanish resources. So Mango is what our library has access to and provides as training for work. So my boss said we can use paid time to learn Spanish using the Mango courses. So I've been doing that really regularly and I'm pretty happy with my progress. It's still like very basic Spanish, and I need to do more listening in Spanish because actual spoken Spanish is really different than what you would just hear in a language learning app. Language learning apps are great for repetition and memory, and particularly with Mango, like they have native speakers on there, so that's great. However, those are like probably trained voice actors who know how to pronounce these things, and they're pronouncing them the way they're written, like grammatically correct. Real Spanish speakers are just like English speakers. They don't always talk like a grammar book. So I need to get better at like real world exposure to Spanish. That's what I realized was lacking when I was trying to learn Spanish previously. There was almost no real world experience. I was reading, but other than that, I wasn't listening, so I didn't know how to listen to Spanish, and that's a whole nother skill. So yeah, that's my goal for Spanish for 2025 is finish Mango and then move on to Pimsleur in Spanish. Maybe I can do them both at the same time. We'll have to see. Okay. I would also, if I could, I would like to start working on some Spanish grammar because I have a Spanish grammar book. But I think until I get to a point with Korean where I'm pretty happy with it, which level 5 in Korean, which is what I am at, that's halfway through the Talk to Me in Korean curriculum. So that's pretty great. A couple more years, I'll be able to probably finish the Talk to Me in Korean curriculum, and then I can move on to Spanish more intensively. But in the meantime, familiarizing myself with it will only help my speed in the future. Okay. I also want to finish a book in Korean in 2025, which is totally doable because I'm almost done with a book that is Korean, not short stories exactly. They're folk tales. It's like a Korean reading for beginners folk tales book. I should be able to finish this no problem in 2025. I've been really focusing on that for maybe the last several months, I guess. I don't know, 4 or 5 months, maybe longer. And that's going really well. And I own another Korean book, and our library now owns Hangang's Human Acts in Korean. So I have lots of options, but I'll probably finish the easy one first. So yeah, and I also want to finish a book in Spanish. This is something I used to do regularly. I would read in Spanish all the time, and I found it really relaxing, and it would help me sleep. So I want to get back to that. And I just heard that I am also, by the way, getting another, I forgot, I just filmed my book haul, my Christmas book haul. I'm getting another book for Christmas. That's in Korean, so I'll have that option as well. But as far as Spanish, I've downloaded several like books. I just downloaded Things We Lost in the Fire in Spanish, so maybe I'll be able to finish that. I don't know, but I definitely want to read something in Spanish in 2025. I also want to finish, this is like a definite goal. I definitely want to do this. I really want to finish History of the Russian Revolution by Leon Trotsky. I got through half of it last year. It took me 6 months to get through half of it, so it'll probably take me 6 months to get through the second half. Yeah, I really want to finish it though because it was so good and I was really enjoying it and learning so much. And Tony finished it, and I just really want to. So yeah, hopefully I can do that. I think I just needed a break, honestly. After 6 months of reading that so intensively, I wasn't able to read any like Christian nonfiction and stuff like that. So I just needed a break. Okay, next, review every K-drama I finished in Korean in a video review. So this is another goal of mine so that I can practice my Korean output, is I want to review every K-drama I watch in Korean on TikTok or whatever replaces TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, I don't know. I did this for one of the K-dramas that I finished in 2024, and I really like keeping track of the K-dramas that I've read. And I don't have like another way that I'm really doing it right now, so I would really like to do that. It's just good practice for me. Yeah, I would like to do that. And I want to finish levels 3 and 4 in my Talk to Me in Korean workbooks. So even though I've read up through level 5 in Talk to Me in Korean, I'm behind on the workbook work. So I want to finish levels 3 and 4. I'm halfway through level 4 and then almost done with level 3. I skipped over some of it at one point for reasons I won't get into now. So I'd really like to finish those. I've probably got about 20 lessons. So I think I can finish 20 lessons in a year. It does take me quite a while to finish a lesson because I will listen to every audio file and try to transcribe it rather than just reading it or consuming it another way. And I will also go highlight the grammar point that I'm learning in the example sentences, and then I will rewrite the sample sentences. And that's not even, then there's more questions, like practice questions in the grammar books, and then there's the workbook work, which is totally separate. So I have quite a lot of steps that I do, but that's the best way I found to get Korean really integrated into my thinking. So I really want to finish levels 3 and 4 in 2025. We'll see. That one I think is really doable. Finishing levels 3 and 4 and also the history of the Russian Revolution are definitely two of my biggest goals of 2025 because I want to do both of those. I also really want to video chat with one friend that I haven't video chatted with yet previously. She has said, we should just do it. I'm sure you're fine. But I've been too afraid because I still need a translator when I'm texting her. So, and one of my friends is very aware, I think, of my level because we video chatted very early on in our relationship and she saw where my Korean level really was. This other friend, I don't think she has any idea how bad my Korean is still. So, yeah, I'm really nervous, but I want to meet her in person, like face to face on a video chat through Kakao Talk. Yeah, I'm nervous, but I really want to do it. She's not going to judge me. That's what I have to remember. No language learner is ever like looking at somebody and judging another language learner and being like, you need to like study more or something because you suck. Like nobody's thinking that. They're always like, this is where they are. And I was there too, or I'm not even there yet. So, okay. I also really want to read a classic every month. I mostly did this in 2024, I think. There was a couple months where I didn't, but I was reading really long classics some of the time. So that's a goal of mine. We'll see if I can get it. I also want to read one Christian nonfiction per month. That's also going to be challenging. I probably won't get that. I might get 6 out of a year. So it'll probably be more like every 2 months. Maybe that should be my goal. A Christian nonfiction every 2 months. That's probably a good goal. Maybe I'll do that. I just learned about a method of studying the Bible where it's basically you split the book up into big chunks and you read it quickly over and over. And so you basically get really familiar with that book and you can basically point to each chapter where something happens and you just become so familiar with it. And I've never really, like, for example, the book of Judges, which I'm reading right now, if you split it up into 7 parts, 3 parts of 7 chapters, there's 21 chapters. So you can split it up and read 7 chapters for 3 days. And then if you do that 10 times throughout the month, in 30 days, you have read the book 10 times. That's kind of the idea. For me, I do not read that fast. I can't make a goal like that. Like, that's what I was saying about productivity. Whenever I try to make goals like that, it does mess me up. So I couldn't keep up with that, but I'm going to be really focused on rereading Judges for a while until I get it really deep into my head, and I want to see how that goes. I want to do it for books that I'm in Bible studies for as well. So there's 3 of those. So we'll have to see. I was inspired by this because that's sort of what I did for Revelation this year, and I loved it. It was so good. I started recognizing Revelation everywhere when pastors were quoting it, and like I just started seeing it everywhere and being really familiar with like the prophetic literature of the Bible. It was so fruitful and fulfilling for me. So I definitely want to practice that. I found that the reading a Bible in 1 year thing, that doesn't really work for me very well because I end up just listening to it. And like I've been reading the Bible my whole life, but I'm not familiar enough with it that I don't zone out. I always will zone out if I'm listening to the Bible on audio and I don't follow it. So that for me doesn't work. It's just too fast. I think I need to do the slow and deep method for a while. Then maybe I can go back to listening because I'll be more familiar with it. I would like to do Bible in 1 year again. I've only done it once or twice because I'm a slow reader. I just am a slow reader. And that kind of goal is kind of stressful for me unless I can listen to it. And I've just found in the mornings I've been praying instead of listening to the Bible. So when I first get up, I'll read the Bible. And then when I go make breakfast and do stuff, I'll just pray out loud. And that's been really fruitful. One thing that I did this year that I loved was for my Bible study, one of the group members mentioned, why don't we like have a digital prayer list? Because everybody would be writing it out in their prayer journal. It's like, if we have a digital journal, nobody has to write it out. They can just check it on their phone, and we can leave emojis for each other. And I think Tiffany also is leaving emojis on my document. So that's really fun. It's fun to see, oh, there are people using this document. And so everybody in our group can leave an emoji next to the prayer as they pray it. And it's just really encouraging to see that. Even if they don't leave an emoji, I've like Dia, she's like, yeah, I was praying through the list every morning. It's like, I just love that. So I've been really enjoying praying in the mornings more focused. It's helped me pray more, I would say. So I want to keep doing that for sure. I want to keep doing the prayer list. And for the Christian nonfiction goal, I think being a part of Faith's Theology Discord club will really help. Because they are reading a Christian book quarterly, a Christian nonfiction book. An ecumenical theology book club is just like such a brilliant idea. I've kind of tried to do things like that, like readathons for Lent and the Christmas Advent. But I was like, I know that I would not keep up with a Discord. I just feel exhausted even thinking of it. And when I tried to do a book club, that was too draining as well. So I think joining somebody else's is honestly great because then there's no responsibility on me. So thank you for Faith for doing that. I really appreciate you. I'm just obsessed. I love this idea so much. So yeah, I'm still in several book clubs this year. I'm in Tiffany's Patreon. I would love to rejoin Kate's Patreon. But at the moment, I still think I'm a little too overwhelmed. Also, oh yeah, reading. Dang, I know I had more. I know I had some other things that I wanted to do. Pimsleur Spanish, Pimsleur Korean. Oh yeah, read from other Asian countries. This is another book club I'm in. So Crystal is doing a bi-monthly, so every other month. Is that bi-monthly? Every other month? Or is bi-monthly twice a month? I always get that confused. Same with bi-weekly. Is that twice a week? Or is that every other week? Crystal is doing a read from an Asian country every other month in her K-pop Discord. We're starting with a Korean book, but I want to read from Asian nations outside of Korea, China, and Japan, because that's what I tend to gravitate towards. But like, I want to read books from the Philippines and, Vietnam. I want to read beyond the three nations that I usually read from. So thank you for fulfilling that goal for me, Crystal. And finish the Stormlight Archives book 5. I really want to finish the Stormlight Archives arc that I'm in. I got book 5 for my Christmas gift from Kevin, and so I really want to finish that. In 2024, I read Way of Kings, Words of Radiance, and like half of Oathbringer. So theoretically, if I keep going in that pace, I should be able to finish. I wouldn't quite finish it, but I'll get close. At least I'll get close. And I won't be reading Mistborn on top of it. So I think that's what really prevented me from finishing it in 2024, was reading Mistborn on top of it. Because I was like, I don't want to be reading two different Brandon Sanderson books at the same time. So yeah. Um, yeah, that's it. That's all of my goals. So that was a lot of goals. Thanks for sticking around. And thank you guys for watching my long unedited videos. By the way, it's really such a weight off my mind to be able to just be me with you guys. And I love hearing from you in the comments. I love your long comments. I love your short comments. I love emoji comments. I just love hearing from people. And yeah, thanks again. And let me know what your goals are for the new year and any goals that you kept for 2024 that you loved. And yeah, your thoughts on goals. Maybe you don't think goals are a thing. I know people who are like, that's dumb, I'm not gonna make a goal. That's also totally valid. Like I said, mine are more like things I want to work on rather than things I'm determined to accomplish. That's too stressful. So anyways, that is it. Thank you guys, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.